going live tonight at Respectable Street. We've got the Ordinary Boys.
Yeah, no the in the name, but yeah.
What's that?
No the in the name.
Oh, sorry. Ordinary Boys.
Yeah. Yeah, because then it would be the Ordinary Boys from the UK, and it's like apples and oranges.
Ah.
Yeah.
So I was unaware. There's competing factions of Ordinary
Yeah,
Boys.
no, but just in the name. The guys in the UK, I think they're they're like a pop band, like the Maroon 5 of the UK. They'd probably kill me if they hear me say that. But.
So who would win in a fist fight? Ordinary Boys US or the Ordinary
We'd
Boys
probably be
UK?
a lot dirtier. So probably we would win, yeah. Like we would just probably like pick shit up from the ground and just hit people with it.
So
that's what happens when you grow up in Miami, man.
Oh. What part of Miami are you from?
Well, I currently live in Hollywood, and then we have one guy who lives in Aventura, another guy who lives in Miami Lakes, and another guy that lives on South Beach. So we're pretty scattered. As much as we are United Nations in the band, we are just as much in geography.
Very good.
For our domiciles.
I will assume the South Beach guy is not the fighter, he's the drinker.
No, the South Beach guy can go from 0 to 60.
Yeah?
Yeah. And our drummer too. Our drummer's English, so from South London. So yeah.
So how did you guys wind up doing? First of all, how did you guys wind up as a band? Did the Smiths thing come later, or
no? So 12 years ago, this started off as like a one-off thing that we did for like an anti-Valentine's Day show down in Churchill's. Rest in peace. And just there were, I think Alan who from here from Respectables saw he saw us and he said, oh, you guys got to take this up to West Palm. I said, all right, sure, we'll go take it up to West Palm. And back then it was a different lineup. The lineup has changed in the last 12 years a couple of times here and there. And we said, yeah, sure, we'll bring it up here. And then little by little, I guess we figured that we had lightning in a bottle, and here we are 12 years later. The current current lineup that we have of the band is about 5 years old.
Okay. It's such a fun show. I've seen you guys, I don't know, 5 times, 4 times. Always a fun show. And your New Order Joy Division set is just as fun.
Cool.
Really enjoy it. I know it's interesting to see you guys switch singers, halfway through. I think, one of you is doing the Joy Division set, another one's doing the New Order set.
Right, yeah.
And it's, so really all 3 bands that you guys are doing, Smith, Joy Division, New Order, it's such an authentic sound. And like I said, you see me battling with somebody on your Facebook page. If you go to an Ordinary Boys show, you're gonna see a show, and it's not gonna end 3 songs in.
Right.
And
by the way, you just gave me an idea for an April Fool's joke. But
yeah. 9 minutes in, time to go.
Time to go. Right. Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, I start off. I mean, I'm big Smiths fan. I mean, I still have all my Smiths vinyl and Morris and the early Morrissey stuff. I think, I don't know, probably after like Bone and Drag or something, I just say, okay, I'm done. The newer stuff, I keep listening, I keep trying to fall back in love, but
yeah,
I just can't.
I think after Vauxhall is a great album. That tends to be like the favorite in the community. Like that's like the go-to solo album. If someone says, give me something to listen to from Morrissey as a beginner, 9 out of 10 times the person who's a crazy fan will say, well, probably either listen to Uncle or listen to Vauxhall.
Right.
Or and then then the stuff that came after that is it's not too bad. What happens is once you eliminate Alan White from the picture, who's like one of the best songwriters he's ever worked with.
Right.
Once you start to eliminate him from the picture, then the songs start to sound a little too vanilla, a little too generic. He, as a songwriter, is very unique. So that's why a lot of the music, especially in Vauxhall and I, a lot of the music is night and day from one another.
Right.
So I guess in the grand scheme of it all, it just depends on whether or not you grew up with it and it's still embedded in you, or if you're trying to start from scratch. I guess it would be a little tough to stomach.
Right. Now what are the roots of you guys as far as musically? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more than just Smiths and Morrissey.
Oh, absolutely.
What else were some of the other key bands for you guys?
I mean, there's quite a bit of obviously new wave, and there's a lot of post punk, a lot of punk, a lot of Ramones, a lot of Pistols. Then some of us are into a lot of the talk and Tears for Fears, and some of us, and when I say us, I mean me. I'm really into a lot of like the old 60s, 70s, and 80s Spanish pop rock. Not pop rock, just pop music that was on the radio back in those days. A lot of that really sad, mushy Spanish shit. Like, I'm really, really into all of that, a lot of that stuff. It's pretty much a mixed bag of everything that that keeps.
Well, you get 4 or 5 people together. There's bound to be 30 different directions you're going to go.
Especially picking people from a community that you either didn't know existed, that you didn't know these people existed, so they already have some sort of their own background that they're bringing in, of their own influences.
Right.
So the fact that these people would come in and say, the common denominator in the project is, I'm a fan of the Smiths Morrissey or Joy Division or New Order or any of the other handful of songs that sometimes we cover. Like tonight we're going to do a cover. Well, we call it cover, right? But the majority of everything that we do on stage is a cover.
But you're going to do a different cover from the rest of the covers.
Exactly, right, yeah. A lot of that stuff that we do that we sometimes interject, everyone is a fan of. Again, like I said, like Tears for Fears or Duran Duran. Like we did an 80s party for Halloween down in downtown Miami. And I think we only had like maybe 4 or 5 Smith songs. Everything else was either a Duran Duran. We did a Tears for Fears song. We did I'm drawing a blank right now, but we the majority of the set was stuff that's not Smiths or Morrissey.
Typical 80s new wave.
Yeah. Just to throw everybody off,
Now, what were you guys doing before you had the joke of the anti-Valentine's Day Smiths?
We were all just in separate projects.
Oh, okay.
One of the guys, one of the guitar players, had his own band, and they tried to do like the touring thing, and they put out an album and the whole thing. I was in like a little 3-piece indie band where I played drums. The bass player was also out doing his own thing too. We crossed our paths back in the day. I didn't recognize him until he reminded me, and he said, "Hey, remember we played a show together when you were in Rebel? We played a show together at venue XYZ." And I'm like, "Well, I guess we did." Yeah, my old man memory doesn't let me remember back that far. Reese, like I said, Reese, our drummer, was in. He's the original drummer for Dirty Vegas.
Oh, okay.
So he was, doing the thing with them. He was touring with them, and then he, got married, and his wife lived in Miami, so he moved to Miami, and we just found each other little by little, and here we are 5 years later.
That's awesome. Any plans? Any plans for any other genres, or? I mean, you guys got enough with New Order, Joy Division, Smiths.
Yeah, we thought about branching out and doing some other bands that same way that we do the Joy Division, New Order thing.
Duran Duran would be very popular.
Duran Duran would be popular. Now, to find someone that can sing Duran Duran that's apples and oranges. Yeah. That's not easy.
Yeah.
It was hard enough to do the one song that we did.
Right.
So to do like a 90, 80,
Find
90.
the one song you can pull off and
just do that for 90 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be like in the Blues Brothers with Rawhide.
Right. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, that would be
90
that.
minutes of Rio.
90 minutes. Yeah, Rio's pretty easy. The ones that are hard, View to a Kill, Wild Boys, those are just crazy ranges, man.
Right.
Like Simon is just beast when he does that.
Well, I mean, there's a reason they were so popular. I mean, they were a great band.
Great band, absolutely. Yeah, fantastic band. Yeah, that's actually our drummer's one of his favorite bands, if not his favorite band of all time.
Yeah, maybe some In Excess or something.
Now we're talking. Now that's a lot. There's an In Excess tribute band. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty, but there is one I know of that that tours every so often, and they're out of Philly, I think.
Okay.
And rumor has it that there is one here in South Florida. I've never seen them, never heard of them.
Fun.
But if we could take the mantle, I'm not opposed.
Yeah. I mean, I told you earlier I'm a vinyl geek, but Abbey Road Studios just remastered Kick a year ago.
Really?
And re-released it on vinyl, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. Done as a half-speed master. Great album. Abbey Road is, if you can find them, they're great. They're not as expensive as the Mobile Fidelity stuff. But,
okay.
They make great records. When you come across them.
I'll try and pick that up and try and check it out.
But yeah, I mean,
I know of Kick, I know of the catalog, but the remasters, obviously, I haven't heard.
Yeah. I'm trying to think some other bands that would just be fun from that. I mean, there's so many bands from that era.
Yeah, but it's like what you said. It's the popularity of it,
right?
It's to do something that is not being done here,
right?
Because then you're just another run of the mill. Like,
right.
I don't know how many YouTube tribute bands there are in South Florida.
Right.
Like, I know for sure there's 3 off the top of my head. I know there's 3.
And I would have zero interest in going to see them. And,
So to try and be like the next band XYZ that's already doing something like that, then it's just
right.
It's beating a dead horse.
I imagine you can only do so many shows, as doing Smiths Morrissey show.
Yeah.
There's always how often are people going to come out to that?
Well, there's that. What up? There's that, and then there's like just getting out of the state. It's
right.
just that. We've
getting
been
out of Florida is 10 hours.
Well, no. Yeah, if there's a bomb threat in the state, it's 10 hours to get out of the state. But no, I mean, we've gotten to Jacksonville from Fort Lauderdale in about 5 hours.
Right.
In a van packed with gear and 5 other dudes. But no, it's just trying to find a venue that's gonna give you a chance.
Right.
And it sounds funny that that terminology, a venue that'll give your band a chance, that terminology being used with a tribute band is a little wonky. But at the same time, it's something where if the venue's smart enough and they promote it correctly, people will come from out of the woodwork and be like, what's playing? A Smiths tribute band? Wait, I need to go see this. And chances are there's 50-50. Some people will come on, they want to see, they're curious, and they're just like, I'm interested to see what a Smiths tribute band sounds like. And the other 50% of that are people that are going to say, I want to see how bad this is going to be.
Well, any of them that want to see how bad you're possibly going to be, if they're watching this video, I can tell you they're going to be disappointed, because it's
very good, very good.
It really is. I mean, it's a great show. I really enjoy it, and compliments typically don't come cheap or easy from me. If I didn't like you, I wouldn't have asked you to be here. And
understood. Appreciate it.
I really enjoy your shows, and I wish you guys so much luck and success, and I hope I hope we can get you in Atlanta and Nashville and get you up.
I mean,
in
yeah, man.
Philadelphia
That would be fantastic to do something like that. I mean, obviously you got to have, a booking agency that gives a shit too.
Right.
That's part of it,
Yeah, I mean, you guys are. I mean, let's face it. I mean, the band's fun, and you guys all have other jobs, and
right, of course,
it's. And then to go and become a booking agent on top of your other job and being, in a band. It's, there's only so many hours in a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you need the social media person out there promoting everything, and
right. I mean, that we're all pretty good at that, at the social media aspect of our sites and all that. We're pretty active. Whether we're posting something that has to do with the show or not.
Right.
We're constantly doing something at least that reflects the project, so that it keeps, keeps the audience engaged, and basically saying, the page has been quiet for 2 weeks. No, that never happens.
Right.
Me personally, I'm posting at least 2-3 times a day, something, whether it's Smiths related or not, as long as it has something to do with the genre. It could be something about The Cure, it could be something about Manchester, it could be anything.
Any thoughts of doing some Cure stuff?
We actually did. We did a was it Halloween? No, we did a National Goth Day.
Oh, okay.
I think that was in May of this year. And we did a full Cure show down in Las Rosas, also rest in peace, down in Wynwood or wherever it's at. Yeah, down there. Yeah. And that went over like huge. Huge.
Miami's good enough. No one outside of Miami knows the different sections of
right,
Miami.
Yeah. So if I say Wynwood, they're going to be like, yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
is that a street? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a section, right?
Yeah.
It's where bums used to live in Wynwood, like, I don't know, 10 years ago. They used to live in Wynwood in the streets.
And now a flat's $1 million.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. Thank you, gentrification.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a really cool arts district down there. Good little. Is it Panther Coffee's down there?
And, never had it.
No, I don't drink coffee, but we go down there. My wife. That's got to hit the spot.
Got to hit the Panther Coffee.
Yeah.
I do. I drink coffee as much as I possibly can. Which, as a matter of fact, I'm probably gonna go across the street and get a cuppa. But yeah, I never had Panther Coffee.
Non-paid shout out to Subculture Coffee. 500 block Clematis Street. But yeah, I mean, we look forward to tonight. Hopefully I can get some audio video of the show tonight. I'll post it out if I can. But I'm happy you came out and hung out with me.
We love playing here, man.
18 minutes and
yeah. We love playing here for a million different reasons. Rodney is ridiculously hospitable. The staff here is always fantastic. The sound here is immense. And it's just, the venue's been here since
1987.
1987.
June 87.
Yeah. And Ecstasy was just here, weren't they?
Yes, Ecstasy was just here.
And Respectable Street, named after the Ecstasy song.
Yeah, and it was Terry Chambers.
Right. Yeah. Because the
drummer,
the singer's still got the stage fright going on, right?
I'm not sure what the deal is there. I know they didn't want to tour anymore.
Yeah.
And that's why Terry Chambers left. Let's face. I'm just assuming here, but the person that writes all the lyrics is the one that gets all the money, and if you don't want to tour, no one else is really making any money in the band, right?
Right.
So, come on in.
Craig the bassist this year.
There you go. Have a seat.
He's the kind of guy that packs his own sandwich, his own lunch. So he was out in his car eating his little sandwich.
What kind of sandwich did we have tonight?
It was a delicious sandwich made of cold cuts. Thanks for asking. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Cold Cuts.
Shout out to Cold Cuts.
Hit the spot.
Morrissey loves Cold Cuts.
Yeah. So I've heard.
So what can we catch you up on since you've missed
about
20 minutes and 49 seconds of the interview?
I'm sure I'm right on time.
Yeah, you know what? Funny. That's funny you say that because you are the one that is always not.
Well, the bass player and drummers are supposed to be on time, right? You guys are the timekeepers, right?
The keepers of the time.
Sometimes on the bass, it's good to be a little bit behind the one. So I'm just acting accordingly, I think, here.
Yeah.
Out of the
very
pocket is
very
the new
artsy
in the
of you.
pocket?
Just yeah. Slightly hanging out of the pocket.
Awesome. Well, we were just finishing up. Anything you would like to add to our conversation tonight? What's your favorite non-Smiths Morrissey song or band?
Oh wow. I'm a big REM guy.
Big REM guy. Great band. When are you guys gonna do
funny?
some REM?
Funny enough, first time I heard that, I had no idea. And you've been with us a year and a half?
Love REM. Big Millsy guy.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. REM probably one of the bands that when I was making the jump from just listening to hardcore and starting to get into the new wave stuff, I think the two bands that opened my eyes to other music would be REM and Love and Rockets.
Right on.
Okay.
Which Daniel Ash, easily one of my absolute favorite guitarists of all time, any genre. Love Daniel Ash. Sorry, the music's coming through the board.
Oh, okay.
I mean, obviously, Tones on Tail also, that whole, from Bauhaus forward. I don't see you guys doing Bauhaus stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, that's not happening.
No. Why would that be?
I don't think we would, anyone in the band would be interested.
I'll rip some Bauhaus, baby. Yeah, bring it on.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then you could sing it. You could sing it. You could wear the crown on stage, too, the crown that he wears when he was wearing, the one that he wore at Cruel World.
So, there's two different, thoughts on Bauhaus. A lot of people are like, they're a goth band. To me, they're the newer David Bowie. To me, they had a couple songs that you could think of as goth, but I mean, they were just a great rock band to me.
What's the David Bowie song that
Ziggy Stardust?
Yes,
their
Ziggy
Stardust cover is
it's great.
Absolutely
I think that's
amazing.
Is that how they open in Cruel World? I don't think that's how. I don't remember if they opened the set with that or not, but they did play it.
Yeah.
I was first exposed to Bauhaus in an episode of Beavis and Butthead when they spoke about the video for Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The pre-edited Beavis and Butthead episode days.
I think the only thing I was exposed to in Beavis and Butthead was, God, what's that song? Detachable Penis.
Oh God.
That was the first time I
King
was like,
Missile, baby.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that song exists. Okay. All right. I like the show.
I mean, if you listen to, stuff like Kick in the Eye, I mean, In the Flat Fields is going to be a bit darker, but I mean, some of the stuff is just great rock and roll. But yeah, I mean, I can certainly see they did have some darker stuff. Hence Love and Rockets. When Love and Rockets broke away, they purposely wore all white to get away from that darker image. But yeah, I have a lot of that stuff on vinyl still.
Original pressings?
Most of it is like the first, second, third pressings. Very few of my records are first pressing from that era because I'm 50, and I think that first pressing, you probably got to be 60, 65. You know, I mean, you know, there's...
Okay.
You know, that's the...
Or unless you were, you know, like 5 or 6 and your parents had those records and you just inherited that shit.
No, I grew up in the Keys. It was Van Halen and AC/DC for me until I moved up here, 1980.
You didn't know anything about shoes until you were like 10 years old.
It was Kino's, man. I thought, you know, shout out to Kino's if friends across the world, Google it, get yourself some Kino's. They will last you a lifetime. Yeah. Go ahead.
I kind of want to know more about this goth band that went to white, like a bunch of reborn wizards. Like, that's...
Love and Rockets.
No kidding.
What do you mean went to Hawaii?
You said no, went to white.
They went to white. Went from black.
So, a lot of, like, you know, Bauhaus towards the end, they were, you know, there were a lot of black, a lot of dark imagery. Love and Rockets was split off from Bauhaus. They also had Tones on Tail afterwards, but they wanted to completely change the imagery, and you know, and they purposely wore all white, and you know, I think did a bit more you know, acoustic work, and what's good. They're just a great band. As a matter of fact, they just released on vinyl December 4th a whole, I think Abbey Road did, Abbey Road remastered all their old work, and they re-released on vinyl a box set of, I would say 4 or 5 of their albums. I got the box in the other day, but I haven't opened it.
Was that Love and Rockets or was it Tones?
That was Love and Rockets.
Okay.
But, like, you know, the Moby song, Go, that was a sample from Tones on Tail.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'll geek out about weird little, what's called music facts if you allow me. I won't. I won't stop. But yeah, if you don't know Love and Rockets, absolutely listen to them. They're wonderful. And Daniel Ash, he does. His guitar work post Bauhaus to me is, like Love and Rockets is just, to me, his best work. He does some 12-string work. He does a lot of fuzz stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of feedback. But yeah, I mean, the music's great. But I don't know how I got there from REM, but
I mean, that's the way it works. That's music when like you said, you're geeking out on music, or when you're kind of sort of an endless font of creativity when it comes to the trivia of music, that all that stuff is just going to come out.
But I have absolutely zero musical talent. I cannot play anything. I'm damn near tone deaf, but as I got into alternative music, one of the first things I started doing was reading liner notes.
Yeah.
And, I mean, everything. And that opened me up to all different kinds of music. Like, Social Distortion did the song Ring of Fire. It's not written by any of them. Who did that? A guy named Johnny Cash. Who's Johnny Cash?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I got you.
Jesus and Mary Chain did a Bo Diddley cover. Who's Bo Diddley? I don't know. Let's go find out who Bo Diddley is. And, a punk rock kid walks into a music store, asks for Bo Diddley. They're like, this doesn't make sense.
Right.
Why do you want this black guy from the 1950s with your shaved head and your combat boots?
Right.
But, to me, I've always been, and that's why I always ask, what are you into? I always want to know what bands are into, because I figure if I like your music, and I'll probably like what you like.
Right. Sometimes
I'm wrong, but I want to know. I want to know everything. I want to know all. And whether it's
And there's-
Spanish guitar or
There's still to this day, man. Every so often, whether it's new or not, not too long ago, I forgot. I was rummaging through TikTok, and there was a girl that showed up, and she's, she couldn't be more than like 21, and she's like, "Oh, check out my playlist from the '90s." I'm like, "How in the fuck?" So what I did was I just kept listening. I just kept watching the video on loop.
Yeah.
And I kept looking for the songs, and I made a playlist for myself. And 90% of those songs of those bands I had no idea existed. And I'm just like, wow, these are really, really good bands from the 90s. And I grew up listening to a lot of the reason why I'm a musician is because of the 90s, is because
Right.
of the stuff I was listening to back then,
So you remember what was on that playlist, or?
No, I mean, I would have to look it up on my phone
Yeah.
right now, but a lot of jangly stuff.
Yep.
A lot of, kind of like what's the Irish band with the girl singer?
Cranberries.
No, the better version of the Cranberries.
The Sundays?
The Sundays.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Yeah, so kind of like, that world.
Right. So now you start like getting into like maybe some of the shoegaze scene with like Chapter House and
That might be on the playlist.
And that's God, who's Black Metallic?
Yes, Black Metallic. Yes.
Yeah. The Catherine Wheel.
Yeah.
And I'm a big time car geek, and the singer from from the Catherine Wheel
Mhm.
is like one of the world renowned Porsche guys.
Really?
Yeah, like he built when he moved to LA, and he built himself this car. And somebody's like, "Wow, that's really cool. I want to buy it." And he's like, "Well, no, it's not for sale, but I'll build you one." And then he built them a car, and somebody else like, "Well, I want one." He built them a car, and he just kept doing it. Yeah, and now he's got like partnership with one of the Formula One teams building motors for his cars. And,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean it's absolutely world renowned, and the name of the company is Singer.
Oh, okay.
So
But it came full circle with Catherine Wheel.
yeah,
Using wheel and car.
yeah, wheel
right?
and car
No?
and Singer
No good?
and but bring it all back around.
Yeah.
But he's I think they're one of my more favorite of the shoegaze bands. I mean, there's so many bands, that shoegaze era, that early mid '90s.
Right. Well, I mean, you have obviously, My Bloody Valentine and
Slow Dive. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So many great bands.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go through, put a list together of all the bands we talked about tonight, throw it up, link it to the video, and
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably, if I remember, I'll send you the link. I don't know if you have Spotify or not. But
I'll
shout out to Spotify.
I'll put together a Spotify list, and we'll link it to the video,
Okay.
and we'll put it. We'll throw it to the Ordinary Boys Facebook page.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
awesome. Well, we've got 34 minutes in.
Nice.
And I thank you guys so much for hanging out. I look forward to seeing you guys play. It's 10:15. First band should be going on probably half an hour.
Yeah, maybe.
You're probably going to go on 11:30.
11:30. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So thank you guys again so much.
Yeah, man. Thanks for this.
And
This is great. These are always fun.
Awesome. We'll see you tonight.
You got it. Thank
All right,
you.
rock on.